Hey everyone! You're watching Business Secrets, and today I'm talking to someone who works in one of the most responsible and technologically advanced fields in the world. My guest is Jack, a nuclear power plant operator. Jack, great to have you here.
Hey Donald, glad to be here. Always happy to talk about my job, especially since most people barely know what we actually do.
Jack, let me start with something everyone wonders about. A lot of people think a nuclear plant operator works in a super secret, insanely stressful environment. So what does an operator actually do on a typical day?
Yeah, there are a lot of myths. In reality, we monitor the reactor, track parameters like temperature, pressure, and coolant flow. Imagine a giant panel with hundreds of indicators. Our job is to make sure everything runs perfectly. We respond to deviations, analyze data, and coordinate with engineers. It's a mix of discipline, tech knowledge, and precision.
Jack, I've got a question that absolutely blew up the comments under the last video. If we take a single nuclear reactor, how many phones could it charge? Like at the same time, iPhones, Androids, whatever. People want the real number.
Haha, great topic. Let's break it down in simple terms. An average nuclear reactor produces around 1,000 megawatts. That's 1 billion watts of power. Now compare that to a smartphone. One phone uses about 5 watts while charging. So if we divide reactor output by phone charging power, we get 1 billion watts slash 5 watts equals 200 million phones. Meaning one nuclear reactor can charge about 200 million smartphones simultaneously. That's more than the population of many countries.
200 million? That's insane. So basically, a single reactor could charge almost a third of all iPhones in the world, if someone actually built a charger for that.
Theoretically, yes. Practically, no one's building a 200 million slot charging station, but in terms of pure power output, it's absolutely possible. People seriously underestimate how powerful nuclear energy really is.
What made you choose this profession? I mean, working next to a nuclear reactor isn't exactly something everyone signs up for.
I always loved physics and energy systems. And when I visited a nuclear plant for the first time, I was blown away by the scale and engineering. I realized I wanted to be part of something that important, to feel the responsibility, and to help keep cities running.
What skills or personality traits does someone need to become a nuclear plant operator?
Calmness under pressure, attention to detail, and a clear head. You can't panic, even if something looks alarming. A strong technical foundation is important too. Math, physics, engineering, plus teamwork and the ability to follow procedures flawlessly.
Do you encounter moments where decisions need to be made instantly?
Why? Definitely. It could be false alarms or sudden parameter changes. We constantly train on simulators that recreate emergency scenarios. When something real happens, the training kicks in and you react the right way.
Speaking of simulators, how serious is the training for this job?
Why? Extremely serious. Before you're allowed near the control room, you go through months of theory, hands-on training, exams, and simulator sessions. And the training never stops. We're constantly tested and recertified.
Let's talk positives. What do you enjoy the most about working at a nuclear power plant?
First, stability. This is a critical industry that's always needed. Second, the sense of importance. You know you're helping power entire cities. And third, the technology. It's a job where your brain never gets bored.
And what about the downsides? What might scare off a beginner?
Irresponsibility. This isn't a job where you can slack off. You need constant concentration, strict procedures, and night shifts. And some people are afraid of radiation, even though the safety level is extremely.
What problems do you face most often?
Mainly dealing with massive amounts of information and reacting instantly to changes. Also, explaining to friends and family that the job is safe. A lot of people misunderstand how nuclear plants actually
What surprised you the most when you started working?
The number of safety layers. People think a reactor is dangerous, but it has dozens of independent protection systems. Everything is duplicated and over-engineered. The risks are much lower than most time.
You work in a team. How important is teamwork in your field?
Imagine. It's everything. A nuclear operator can't work alone. All decisions are checked, verified, cross-validated. We support each other. There's no room for ego, only T.
How often do you have to learn something new?
Work. All the time. New equipment, updated protocols, new systems. We take exams several times a year. This profession requires continuous LIA.
If someone wants to get into this field, where should they start?
Renning. Start with a technical degree. Engineering, energy, physics, nuclear studies. Then look for training programs, internships, or junior operator roles. Be ready for strict discipline and lots of stew.
What mistakes do beginners usually make?
Dying. Beginners often think it's just pushing buttons, but it's deep analytical work. Some struggle with focus, others get nervous. The key is patience and PRA.
What personally helps you succeed in this job?
Tice. A calm personality, discipline, and respect for procedures. And constant self-education. I try not just to follow instructions, but to understand the physics behind.
And now the main question my viewers are waiting for. Jack, how much does a nuclear power plant operator usually earn?
Entry-level operators earn about $60,000, $80,000 a year. Experienced operators make $90,000, $120,000, and senior control room operators can reach $140,000, $170,000 plus, especially with night shifts and bonuses.
Jack, thank you for such an honest, deep, and fascinating conversation. Guys, if you enjoyed this interview, hit the like button, drop your questions in the comments, and stay tuned for future episodes.